and welcome back. In this video, we are going to make a radical self-care goal for the first week of college.
So hopefully you watched the Principles of Radical Self-Care video. If not, go back and check that out first, and that will help you guide your process for creating a radical self-care goal. Okay, so in a moment, we're gonna just do a little quick review of the radical self-care principles. But first, let's just take a moment to breathe together. You just find a comfortable position to be in. Let your body relax a little bit. And then take a few deeper breaths. Great.
So these are the 3 principles of radical self-care. Do you remember these from the last video? The first principle, go deep, guides you to get clear on what really matters, so you are making self-care goals that are meaningful. The second principle, honor the difference, affirms that we all need different things to thrive, so we can trust that and not be swayed by what the dominant wellness culture thinks we should do. And the last principle, heal the disconnect, reminds us of how interconnected we are. So self-care includes showing up for ourselves and our communities and challenging systems that harm so many of us. We encourage you to keep these in mind as you move towards making your self-care goal.
Okay, so another thing that could help you move towards creating your self-care goal for this week is to take a look at this flourishing model from positive psychology. This model suggests that we thrive when we're getting some of each of these, maybe not every day, but generally in our life. We'll go through each category and give you some COVID-friendly suggestions. These are just suggestions to spark your own ideas. So the 6 categories are interacting with others, helping others, learning new things, spiritual activity, play/pleasure. And then this last category, we kind of edited a little bit. So we put in movement, sleep, nutrition, and routine.
So the first one is interact with others. Interaction is so essential to our well-being. It's going to be harder to do than usual, so we have to get creative. Read these and then take a moment to think. What are some ways that you have interacted with others in the past week or two that have felt satisfying, even if those are virtually?
Okay, so the next one is to help others. Think about the last time you felt in service to something larger than just yourself. How did it feel? I know for me, it feels really good. Caring for others can be a powerful way to care for ourselves. So here are some examples of ways we can help. Okay, the next one is play and pleasure. So Jenna, what's your favorite way to play?
I personally like to do improv comedy as a way to connect to others while also expanding my creativity and imagination through structured play and also humor.
Cool.
So think about, what are the things that you do to feel silly, joyous, and pleasure? Think about something you could do this week to make you feel good while also having fun.
The next category is spiritual activity. A lot of us think of spiritual activity as religious, which might be the case for some people, but engaging in spiritual activity doesn't need to be religious. Spiritual activity, similar to helping others, can connect us to something larger than ourselves. It can help us find meaning, and it can be an immense source of strength when things are challenging. What's something you already do that you might call spiritual? Like fuck up and love yourself anyways, offer gratitude, maybe light a candle. Hey Jenna, have you learned anything new recently?
Yeah, I actually have. I just taught myself how to do macrame, which making plant hangers and wall hangings, which has been a really fun way to work with my hands while also listening to audiobooks.
That's not a bad idea.
Oh, Lindsay, I see what you did there. You're punny. It's also important to think about your physical body when practicing self-care. Our bodies need nourishment, hydration, sleep, and joyful movement. What foods you eat, ways you move your body, and what feels best for you is different for everyone else. It may take some adjustments along the way, and that's okay. It's best to try not to compare yourself to others and to instead focus on your body's individual needs.
Okay, so now look at this list and choose one category you want to focus on this week. And if you have something in mind, some radical self-care goal that doesn't fit in one of these categories, that's totally cool too. And if you need to pause the video to think about it, feel free to do that.
So now let's whoop it. This might seem a little silly, but this is a research-backed method for achieving goals and changing habits, developed by German researcher Gabriel Oettingen. It's called WHOOP, and it's an acronym. I'll walk you through the short process with my own example. So I am choosing the category of sleep in something I want to improve upon. So first is thinking about what is your wish. So my wish is I want to read before bed. Then I'm thinking about what is the best outcome. So my best outcome is I would feel more connected to myself and probably fall asleep faster. Then it's identifying my obstacles. So my obstacle is social media scrolling loop happening in my bed right before I go to sleep on my phone. So now I'm going to make a plan. An if obstacle, then I will action plan. So mine is if I'm in a social media scrolling loop on my phone in my bed, then I will set a screen curfew, maybe say 10 o'clock p.m. So once you have your category, think about your next week. I'm going to go back and walk you through this process again. And please pause the video at any time. So once you have your category, think, what is your wish? What is your most important wish or concern within this category? So pick something that is challenging for you, but that you can also fulfill. Now think about what would be the best thing, the best outcome about fulfilling your wish. How would fulfilling your wish make you feel? Now take a moment and really imagine the outcome. Imagine things fully. What would it look like? What would it feel like? Next is to identify your obstacle. What is it within you that holds you back from fulfilling your wish? What stands in the way of you fulfilling your wish? Again, take a moment to really imagine that obstacle and imagine it fully. And once you have that, you can make an if obstacle, then I will action plan. What can you do to overcome your obstacle? Name one action you can take or thought you can think to overcome your obstacle. Great, you just completed a whoop. Can I get a whoop whoop?
Whoop, whoop.
Thanks, Lindsay.
Awesome. Okay, so another if-then plan within the WHOOP process that we can all commit to is if I don't complete the self-care goal, then I will still hold myself with compassion and self-love. So actually the most important part of radical self-care is not just the behaviors we are trying to do or change. It is radically accepting ourselves as we are with love and compassion, no matter what. And you're not in this alone. You can check out the resources below for some additional support, including the WHOOP app, which you can use on your own. So thanks so much for joining us, and take really good care of yourself and of each other.
Bye.
Bye-bye.